I've seen paintings that were really weird, but I noticed that there was something really special in it about how hard someone worked on it or how it was designed or maybe how the imagination made it lovely.
My daughter is very intelligent. You could speak with her and see the light in her eyes and tell that this is not a child who's slow. This is a child that is very bright. I had known that there was something going on with my daughter since she was very little. She was having difficulty speaking when she was 3. It was a language difficulty in learning language and understanding language and retrieving language from her brain. My daughter was coming home every day from school crying and telling me things like, I'm stupid and I can't do the things the other children do. They're reading chapter books and I can't read.
My son Garrett is a smart and very competitive young man. He's a hard worker and he enjoys socializing. But we've had a problem with him since preschool. He was considered advanced, but when he was put in with the older kids, he couldn't keep up with them in the reading. There was just some kind of obstacle there. He'd say one thing and less than 15 seconds later, he was clueless.
It was very frustrating. I could probably only do like 2 pages by myself. Then I would need to go to the teacher.
Garrett would come home and he would come and he would just crawl into my lap and just start crying. And he would start pulling on his hair and banging his head and telling me that he was just stupid.
It's just gotten to the point where he was being defeated, and it was affecting other things as well. Behavior problems associated with this were increasing.
Sometimes I threw fits.
It affected him with a stigma that he couldn't do things. He had to overcompensate in many ways. This caused problems and was very frustrating.
No matter how hard he worked, no matter how much people told him you aren't working hard enough, no matter what he gave, he wasn't moving any further forward. What we determined was there has to be something else going on. We had him evaluated here at Scottish Rite to find out why he wasn't able to progress in his reading. What we found from our evaluation was that Garrett was indeed dyslexic.
Dyslexia is a specific type of learning difference, and it's neurological in origin. Children with dyslexia have difficulty with word recognition and fluency in reading, as well as decoding. These children have average or above average, very often above average IQ, so we know there's nothing wrong with their intelligence. They've had adequate classroom instruction, and reading remains difficult for them.
Many people don't really quite understand that roughly 1 in 5 children have dyslexia. There are neighbors, there are children, they're the people that we communicate with on a regular basis. And there are 26,000 children in Central Texas that need our services.
It took a long time for me to get the school district lined up to get testing and such, and I was not able to get testing through the school district. I got my testing done at Scottish Rite.
Well, I started reading better.
I got better in reading. I was able to read a little bit better.
I've just gotten so much better in reading.
They help us read faster.
It's fun here.
I went up 4 reading levels.
I got the highest scores on my language arts tax test.
The teachers are nice.
They actually understand your problem.
They help you read.
I went from Ricky Ricotta books all the way to Moby Dick novels.
Scottish Rite helps you learn and it's better for you.
The mission of the Scottish Rite Learning Center is to provide help for as many Central Texas children as we can. We offer psychoeducational evaluation. We have 5 women licensed psychologists who come to our center. So someone is actually doing testing Monday through Saturday morning.
Our psychoeducational evaluations at Scottish Rite include primarily 5 parts that we look at when we're looking at questions about reading disorders or dyslexia. Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready. The First one is cognitive functioning, and that is basically ability level to see where they're at and where they're functioning in everyday life. We also look at something called psychomotor or graphomotor skills, and that is the active handwriting, so all the way from the brain translating down into the active handwriting. We also do a couple different measures for attention because all these things overlap so much with reading disorders. We want to make sure that there's nothing else going on that we should know about. We also do some screeners for emotional functioning to again see if there are any other emotional or behavioral problems that could be going on that could be contributing to any sort of problems they're having at school. And I want you to read the words the best that you can and read them at your normal rates, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Cat, boy, hat, blue.
Okay, nice. The last one is academics, and that's the biggest one. We look at reading, writing, math, and we do a language screener as well. So those are the biggest areas that we look at. If we see reading problems that might be there, we do some additional tests looking specifically if there could be some dyslexia going on.
Nice. Okay, we're going to just do the initial reading deck today.
Also, we offer a 2-year academic language therapy program. The children come every afternoon for an hour. We're using the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital's most recent curriculum, which is called Take Flight, a comprehensive intervention for children with dyslexia.
And how many letters are making that sound? Or how many letters is it? And the word is low.
The whole program is built on success. The curriculum is so beautifully sequentially put together. The way we present the information is through what I call the guided discovery method. So everything that we teach them in such a way that they are prepared to take in the information. And it's also multisensory. They get to touch and feel and say and write all of the information as it is explained to them.
All right, turn it to.
We think it's very
say
important
them to
to
yourself.
train educators and give them the skills and strategies to become dyslexia therapists. We can serve 50 children, but we know for a fact that there are over 26,000 school-age children in Central Texas who have dyslexia. So we feel like the way that we can help and impact these children is to train more educators to become dyslexia therapists.
So let's look at our suffix ing. It means the act of doing right. Now, can you say
We have a 3-week intro training session for educators. It meets 5 days a week, 8:30 to 4:30. Following the 3 weeks of training, they go back to their school districts and actually work with 3 groups of children, all of whom have dyslexia.
The first year of training is like, I tell my friends, like boot camp for the brain. I felt like I learned more about the English language than I ever was taught in all my years of college.
panting, tending?
Some therapist trainees have told me it's comparable to taking a graduate level class.
Oh, man, when I went through my training, it's better than a master's reading program. I was a reading specialist. I never had been taught, specifically, systematically, cumulatively, how to teach these struggling readers and what it really meant, how much they were struggling and how to help them. I had been teaching for almost 20 years, and I was thinking, I wish I'd have known this a long time ago. I could have reached so many more students.
I feel very sorry for a teacher that doesn't have the tools that I have been given by going through this Take Flight program.
There's huge need out there, and it's just so important that this continues to get larger and so we can service more children.
The outcome in a child's ego, their self-worth, everything is tied up in helping a child early in the process.
The biggest change for Ava has been her change in confidence. She comes home smiling, and she comes home saying, "Mommy, I'm smart, I can do it, I can read."
I always believe in myself that I will be good at art after I grow up.
They go from feeling like they are complete failures to walking away from our 2-year program feeling like they can do something and be successful.
They know they're going to be successful. They have it in them to be successful. And all we're doing is just providing some exercises, some training for them to be who we know that they can be, who we know that they are.
He's ready to excel. His report cards have become normal.
I want to be able to read big chapter books to learn about different things.